want to say thanks while we're here to our guys from Nothing But Nylon being here with us all day.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys spending the day with us and covering this.
Thank you, Coach.
Yep.
Spent a lot of time in Kent today.
Yeah.
A lot of time in Kent
It's
today.
a good spot. Did you find any good restaurants? You guys,
When we were here, we did an Agri game a handful of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And Diamond Deli.
Oh, okay. I've never been there. That's a good spot, huh?
Sandwiches, man.
Diamond Deli, huh? All
Already
right.
been there twice. Yeah,
Very good.
Like a month and a half.
Y'all good, man? Justin, you guys are good?
Yep.
Hold on. We'll give you a minute and then we'll go. Is it at least recording now? I'm not worried about the stream, as long as it's recording. Good. All right, Coach, start the opening statement and we'll take questions.
You guys good?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Yeah. I tell you what. I think this is really we really showed a lot of guts defensively. I thought we had a good first half defensively, holding them to 28 points. A team that's pretty prolific in scoring the basketball. I thought we did a good job. We got some nice looks in the first half. We went 2 for 10 from the three-point line, but I liked basically all 10 shots that we got. They just didn't go down. We started off fast transition-wise. We kind of let our foot off the gas in transition in the second quarter, and so we went into halftime. One of the biggest things that we really wanted to talk about at halftime is making sure that we didn't come out at the beginning of the third quarter the way we started the game, the third quarter against Toledo. We just kind of came out flat against Toledo. We let some things affect us, and we didn't play our best there. So we really focused on coming out with energy at the beginning of the third quarter. Our defensive intensity was phenomenal in the third quarter. We held them to 4 points in the third quarter, and then I thought that just carried over to the rest of what we did. Obviously, we were better offensively in the second half. We still got some good looks that didn't go down for us. We shot 23s and only made 6 of them, but I liked probably 18 of the 23s that we took. I liked those shots. So when we knock those down and we play defense like that, I think we're going to continue to get better as the year goes on. This was a good win against a tough Bowling Green team. You know, they're a tough out, and that's the thing with this league is no matter who you play, everybody's a tough out, or they're just really good. So really pleased with that. The other thing I will say is Mariah Modkins had one of her best defensive games since she's been here. Holding Madison Parker to 1-3 attempt on the game. That kid's second in the nation in three-point field goal percentage, and she only got 1 off. And I thought Mariah did a great job. When Asia came in, she picked up right where Mariah left off defensively. So some really good things from that standpoint.
What was kind of I talked to you a couple of days ago. Defense was the first thing you mentioned when playing these guys and how they're going to be really dangerous if you kind of let them get into a flow. What was kind of the kind of game plan going in there, trying to take away defense?
Yeah, the thing that people don't realize, like Bowling Green is like top 3 in the league offensively. They're averaging over 70 points a game. So one of the things that you really have to do is make sure you don't overhelp. You got to guard your player. Second quarter, when they were getting some scores, they were getting straight line drives on us. We weren't staying in front, and so we talked about that at that media timeout and at halftime. You got to stick your nose in there, and you got to make sure they're not getting straight line drives to the basket. If you overhelp, they lead the league in assists, so they're a really good passing team. So if you overhelp, they're going to find players. So thought we did a really good job of listening to the game plan, other than some of the drives they got in the second quarter.
I heard during shoot-around you were mentioning that they were very effective off inbound passes. How do you feel like your team defended those today?
Yeah, I thought we did a really good job of defending their baseline inbounds. They score a very high percentage on baseline inbounds. We wanted to make sure that we were doing a great job defensively. After the first pass, they run a very specific action. They try and score on it. So I thought we did a really good job of communicating that, being ready, more ready defensively as the official hands the ball to the inbounder, of making sure we're matched up and then playing out after the first pass. We did a good job of that.
Angela Perry was shut down pretty hard too. What was the plan on her? Lindsay, what did you do besides block her shots?
She's a really good player. She's really tough to defend. I honestly had to work every single possession, just banging against her body every time. A couple times she got away from me, but I think just the whole possession I had to, dig down and work the entire time so that we wouldn't give up anything too easy to her.
So, and the coach says you're 1-on-1 with the best #1 shooting percentage in the conference.
Mhm.
Just stay in front of her. So.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, she did there's two pieces to that, and we wanted to make sure we had great ball pressure so that they couldn't make easy entry passes. And then one of the things that we talked about with Lindsay, we knew she was just going to have to battle all game. And so I thought she did a really good job of limiting her touches. She got 11 shots, only made 4 of them, which is great defensively. But it was really a team effort on the post defense, and Lindsay had, for her to play the type of defense that Lindsay did, she played 36 minutes. She really limited Angela Perry's looks, and she also had 19.7 rebounds. I mean, that's a heck of a basketball game, okay? And so really she could have had 25 or 30, but I I thought she had a really, as far as a complete game, was probably our best player on the court on both ends of the court. What she had to do defensively, and then her ability to score and rebound was really good.
Lindsay, it's been a while since you had a really good game. Do you psych yourself up for that? What's the difference between?
I feel like my time comes and goes. We have a lot of really good scorers on our team. So one game it'll be Katie, one game it's Nyla, one game it's Asia, Megan. I feel like I'm to be the last option playing with those 4 girls. But honestly, it was just my game, I guess. So. Got to roll with it, I guess.
I think we try. One of the things that we've tried to do with Lindsay too is try and get her touches at different places on the court rather than just the 3-point line. Teams are doing a really good job of defending her, switching off onto her. So we're really trying to get her touches in the paint now so that teams can't switch guards off on her. And so that worked for us tonight. We got her a lot of paint touches, and then it opened up the 3-point shot, especially in transition. So.
Lindsay, you also had, I think, 4 inside baskets at Toledo. The threes weren't dropping, but there's 2 games in a row you've been as effective inside as you ever have. Tell us how have you worked on that? Have the plays been designed to go toward you? I guess Coach just said that. So.
Yeah. I mean, for a lot of these games, like he said, the guards have been switching off, so I had some smaller players on me at Toledo. And before the game, Coach McKee told me I need to capitalize on that, and that just helps our team out because when I have a mismatch, and if I'm able to do that, then they might start to guard me harder, and then it opens up things for other players. So.
Asia, talk about shutting down Parker. As you helped anyway on that. She makes a lot of points. So what'd you do?
I just thought we played a very good defense. That was the #1 thing we talked about in the locker room, and we just did it because it would help us win.
Pressure on her means what to you?
Try to know for her to not get a touch, but she got touches, but limited them.
She led the team in minutes played, but she was also one of the best 3-point shooters in the entire league coming into tonight. So whenever you know that coming in, do you strategize anything pregame that was able to help you shut her down?
No, just play defense.
They did. I thought they did a really good job of listening to our game plan on her. Okay, and so Mariah was our first line of defense, and we said Mariah's not helping off. Okay, so we're just going to limit her touches and crowd her on every catch, make sure we're hands over ball. And then when Asia came in, she picked up where that left off. The other thing I'll say, Asia did a great job of finishing today. She's 7 for 9 from the floor, and came up with a phenomenal offensive, a scramble, came up and fought for it, came up with it, and stuck it back in at a really critical time in the game. So some really good hustle plays, not only defensively, but really did a good job of finishing at the basket today.
That 10-second call you drew was you stole it, she couldn't get it back, and
great intensity. We let her loose, every now and then. If we feel like if she's not in foul trouble and we feel like we have a favorable matchup, we'll say, all right, Asia, go get her. And then of course her eyes light up when we do that, and she does a great job of really timing dribbles and giving people fits, so that was good. I thought the other thing I'll say, that the areas that we had to improve, we got to get better at. We gave up 14 offensive rebounds. That's not that's not going to work as we're going through the rest of conference play. We had 12 turnovers in the first half, and that's the other thing we've really focused on at halftime is we can't have empty possessions like that against anybody. So the guards did a really good job in the second half of cleaning that up, and we didn't have empty possessions. And then we did get a lot of finishes at the basket, which helped us a lot.
Alan, you have anything you need?
You guys put a lot of emphasis on defense to prepare for this game, and you stayed pretty shoulder to shoulder with them in the first half. When you bring the ball down in the front court, like, what's the feeling? Because you guys both started shooting and got hot and stayed hot, but do you feel like there's a freedom down there, or like, what's the mentality when you finally get the ball in your hands?
I think that our defense, I think we get a lot of offense off our defense. So, like, if she gets a great stop, then we're, like, pumped up on offense. Everybody's being aggressive. And, like, same goes for everybody else on the court. I think we just playing hard on defense makes things so much easier when you get to the offensive end.
When you went, I think you went 8 minutes from the middle of the first to the middle of the second without scoring. A lot of times in that situation, you stop playing defense, but you didn't in this situation. You kept yourself in it through a rough stretch.
Yeah, I mean, it was man, we got stagnant there, and that's one of the things that we got to get worked out. We got 9 regular season games left. This team is still a long way, a lot of growth left, and I'm optimistic about that. You know, we still haven't played our best basketball. We're finding ways to win games, even when we have an 8-minute drought in scoring, even when we're, you know. So if we can get a couple of things fixed like that, how can we really make sure we don't have those droughts happen? I think, and we start knocking down some threes that we're getting looks at. I think we're going to be a tough out, but we got to keep taking it one game at a time. Really tough road test now going to Ohio, and we've kept ourselves within reach in the East. You know, we're right there with still a chance to, you know, make some noise on the east side of the conference, and so it's ours for the taking, but we have to play better. We do. There's definitely things we can improve on from tonight, but our defense is what was our backbone today, which was nice to see because it hasn't been a lot of the year.
Asia, was it good to be back on the court?
Of course. Always.
Coach, in your first year and then last year, you had very good second halves. You were 8-1 the first year and 6-3 in the second half. Why do your teams play better in the second half of the season?
You know, I think a lot of credit to the players because that means they're staying engaged, right? And I think teams wear down through the course of the season. We want to continue to get better at being a team that doesn't beat itself. I think that's the number one thing that you can do as you go through conference play is make sure you limit the number of mistakes and make sure you're not beating yourself. I thought we've done a good job of that late in seasons, especially first year and last year. And this is a team I'm waiting for that to happen. I really think and there's no guarantees it's going to, but I think it's out there for us. If we can be a team that is better at not beating ourselves and we can start knocking down open shots, I think we're a team that's going to be tough to handle come down tournament time.
Lindsay and Asia, from the player's perspective, what does not beating yourself mean to you? What do you need to do to not beat yourself? You went through last year and you did a great second half. So.
I think that just has a lot to do with all the little things on the court, like getting every rebound on the defensive end, limiting their offensive boards, hustle plays, stuff like that. Like when you get in the scheme of the game and you get like turnovers and stuff, it just everything feels like it's not working. So just limiting all the little mistakes, I think, helps a lot with that.
Asia?
Same thing, just limiting turnovers and just trying to get a lot of stops because when we get defense, like our offense will flow. So as long as we're getting defensive like stops, then we will be good. We're gonna be good.
Anything else from anyone? No? All right.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you. You guys have to come to every game now. There you go, right?
Thanks again for everything. We appreciate it. Our CEO and founder of our company, our parent company, is in Boise, Idaho. We have people in Brooklyn, Salt Lake City, Seattle. But him and I, we actually met each other overseas. I was mostly focused on lacrosse. He kind of just took a quick gig out of college working for Israel Lacrosse, across paths in Prague,
Hey, Jay, do you
and
want
found
this?
out